Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, glad to have you here. Today we are going to be looking at a Empire versus Greenskins matchup. I brought my typical Empire build here. You can see I have a main line of 5 swordsmen, supported by 2 handgunners built back from the line, 1 mortar, 2 spearmen on each side, an Empire Knight, just to have some cheap mobility. And you'll see how I use those later. In the back, I have 2 halberdiers for this exact circumstance. For the spiders that I'm always afraid of, that are going to come from the Ragnarok spider, and so they are sitting in the back. I have a warrior priest just for the leadership buff, and he just has the ability that increases the leadership by 8. And so he's going to keep this main line in the fight much longer than they normally would stay. Yeah, you can see the same on the other side. I've got my typical trio of Amber Wizard, General of the Empire, and Jade Wizard. This is a fun greenskin army hidden in this forest. He has 2 nasty skulkers and a night goblin. I think these are the armor sundering ones, but they might be the loonies. We'll see later. He has 2 wolf riders, one of which is the Morgrub's mangy marauders. So we can get a close-up on these guys. These are really cool. They look like Mongols on wolves. And these guys have armor-piercing missiles, so definitely something to be looking out for. But I'm definitely not scared of these guys. Can't really do much here, except maybe tie up my handgunners. For his main part of the army, he's got 2 goblins and 3 black orcs scattered across the front line here, and in the back he has 2 orc biggins. He has an orc war boss on a boar. He's got a night goblin shaman here to debuff my line, and he's also got this spider. Usually he's on my team. This time he's on the other team. Sorry. So this is going to get started pretty quick. I'm going to, of course, send my flying squad out here to abuse Flock of Doom. Though he's not very packed here. He's got a pretty loose formation spread out into the trees. So I'm not going to be doing too much damage. So here you can see Flock of Doom coming off. Mortars coming in. Not going to do very much damage here against the Black Orc, so I should be targeting these biggins, who will suffer much more if they're hit by a mortar. Let's watch. Oh, just missed him, but got the Black Orcs pretty well. Yeah, so we're going to start advancing. I'm going to move my Empire Knights to the flanks, thinking that he doesn't have anything other than this main kind of core. He's going to move out his skirmishers here to open fire. I'm going to pull back, trying to dodge as many missiles as possible. I am luckily going to see this here real quick and be able to pull my Empire Knights away. So that's good. Very lucky. And he's going to start chasing with his wolf archers. I do have my knights over here to try and rear charge anything that comes in the main line. And here you can see I'm going to spread out my Flocks of Doom. I really did not have much Winds of Magic in this battle. We got very unlucky. So I'm not really able to use my Jade Wizard at all this battle. I'm just going to charge my Empire Knights up here because I don't really care about them. But these goblins are going to be a great target for my nasty skulkers. So my riflemen are going to... I think they unloaded 1 volley here at the Black Orcs, but now they're going to switch to the spider. Definitely my biggest target. And we're going to sandwich these goblins here, try to break their leadership with a quadruple charge, spearmen as the anvil. And you're just going to... There's the devastation here. These goblins do not have a chance. I'm surprised they're not routed yet. It's been like 2 seconds. But I think I shifted this line to try and shoot these biggins as they charge, but I'm not going to be able to get the shot off. Here, the goblins are going to meat shield in for the Black Orcs. And here the Black Orcs are just going to straight engage my swordsmen. Definitely going to lose that fight. The biggins are going to move around here, and the Ragnarok spider is going to come in, and she's going to start spawning some spiders down here. But you can see just how fast the like terror and stuff here can rout these units, and so I really wanted a quick win here while my handgunners dealt as much damage as possible here to the Ragnarok Queen. I'm going to move these halberdiers in here to try and turn this fight somewhat in my favor, because I see how much damage I'm doing to the spider, but definitely a bad move. Right as I do that, these spiders come crawling out of the ground, and they're going to stop my handgunners from being anywhere near useful. My mortars over here are shooting at this blob, I think, as well, so that's going to be good. I'm going to pull out my heroes here and get them to try and deal with this spider, because I want this off the field. If I can stop it from spawning 6 spiders, I think I've won. Here, he's using his orc war boss and some empire and some spider hatchlings to trap and try and finish off my empire knights, and I'm fine with that. They are the most throwaway unit in my roster here. You can see these nasty skulkers routing, the mortars coming in after them, and my empire knights still stuck in here, still trying to rout this night goblin, and my jade wizard here is actually stuck. She's supposed to be coming with the rest of them, but she's not, or he's not. But you can see the mangy marauders here doing a number, shooting into the back of these empire knights with their armor-piercing damage. What I really should be doing is moving these spearmen in to help clean up these guys. Pulling back his goblins here to just blob down on this side. Here you can see he's done a great job of having spiders placed on both of my handgunner units, and so that's something I definitely have to be watching out for. But here, great charge from my 2 armor-piercing griffins, and so they're going to be able to scare this spider off pretty effectively. My empire knights over on this side losing pretty quickly, but this line is pretty much okay. It has spearmen charging in the back, halberdiers fighting the black orcs, and spearmen fighting the biggins. But as long as I can get my riflemen free anytime soon, I think I'll be able to manage that side. This side, though, is another story. You can see his biggins here carving through my swordsman, and his black work here cutting through my poor spearmen. They're not going to be able to do anything against these guys. Oh well, actually, they just killed that one, so that's good. My Jade Wizard here still stuck in here, and I am going to finally charge my spearmen as my Pegasus flies up in the air. I've decided I'm going to use these Empire Knights to try and just scare these guys away, get them away from the battlefield. And you can see my Halberdiers here helping to clean up the spiders, but I really needed both of these units here to clear up this one as well. So here he's going to crack through, and there's not much I can do about that with my cheap infantry. Here you can see his goblins are coming back, and that's definitely something I have to worry about. Definitely the fanatics, the 8 Piccolinis here, because they haven't routed, and so that's a good way to tell. But yeah, definitely threat here coming in from the nasty skulkers. Gotta hit them again with my terror-inducing heroes, and threats here coming in from the biggins and from the blackwork. So and with my handgunners here so close, I definitely need to pull these guys out and run away. Great use of his war boss here. He's going to move in with him, sneak through the lines, and hit my handgunners, while my heroes are off busy doing something else. My warrior priest chased off the shaman. But you can see here, I'm barely going to intercept these biggins here with my halberdiers to get them away from my handgunners, but that leaves this handgunner completely undefended, so I'm going to move this swordsman to not help them and come blob in here. Though once I rout off these poor leadership goblins, I think I am going to chase after that war boss. Here my blob is slowly winning, but not effectively in any way. You can see my mortar still firing at the low armor goblins to keep them off the field. That was a devastating shot. Here I Flock of Doom and he pulls out his biggins, but as they're pulling out from these halberdiers, they're going to take a ton of damage. But I guess he really doesn't have a choice, because the handgunners are going to shoot into their flanks. Here my hero Blob is going to take on his orc war boss and snipe him out. But you can see over here, fight still continuing, but this entire flank essentially has been wiped out. The spider coming back in, should be in soon. This blob, I really need to unblob this. You can see some Empire Knights came back, or no, they're chasing something, I guess. But I don't know what they're chasing. That was definitely a miss micro. I'm going to charge these Empire Knights here into the remaining Nazi Skulkers to try and break them, and just try and get them off the field for good. Here you can see my handgunners run away, but they're going to come back. So I am going to turn them around and start firing. These big uns are going to rout, and now my handgunners are in the perfect spot to crush through these very expensive black orcs. And my orc war boss here. I mean, their orc war boss, I scared him off, and these handgunners are opening fire on this spider. I'm going to move my heroes off to deal with this, and I'm going to turn this handgunner around to finish off the general. That's very important for the orcs. Gotta kill the general. Gotta get him off the field for good. So I think he goes down here. Just got rid of the spider. This poor boar having to carry this huge orc. This one last bullet is all it takes. And there he goes. Anyway, so while being shot in the back, these black orcs are going to rout. And you can see my poor, cheap Empire troops on this side are going to be completely routing, but my halberdiers are going to be holding the line, and I'm going to bring my heroes in to help finish off this fight with their armor-piercing damage. My Empire Knights here finally got into some of these guys, but they really don't have much left. He still has this hero, but with the death of their leader, they're just all going to rout here. And that's going to be that. You can watch as these Night Goblins fight to the last. Oh boy. Yep. My spearmen definitely are not going to enjoy this fight being poisoned. He's going to call it quits there. So, that was pretty hectic. Surprisingly good kills here on my Empire Knights. 101, 63. For decent kills here on this mortar, but it was probably mostly nasty skulkers. Decent kills here on my heroes, but they did do some heavy lifting against the spider and just using their terror to run around the battlefield and rout different parts. You can see my main line did terribly. None of them were worth it. Well, I guess they were worth it just for the time they bought me. But these halberdiers did pretty good. Though most of those kills are probably hatchlings, so I don't know how much of that is worth counting. Though you can look at my handgunners here. This handgunner got 2 XP chevrons and this one 1. So they definitely did a lot of work here, did a lot of damage, and made an impact on the battle. Even if they didn't kill that many black orcs, they were still killing black orcs, and they were still damaging a spider. Yeah, terrible kills here on this Jade Wizard, but he's more useful when you have an excess of Winds of Magic. And he doesn't cost that much, so it doesn't hurt that bad. Here, Orc War Boss with 40 kills. That's decent. These AP loonies got 50, that's okay. But you can see amazing kills here on these biggins and some of these black orcs. Well, all of the black orcs, really. But really not that great kills on this queen. I managed to successfully shut that down, though her spiders did help the battle quite a bit for his side. Anyways, good game of my opponent, and that's that.